You're gonna hang up, right? Hey! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, you're showing mad love yet again. Another week. I cannot wait. I am so excited. And as I tell you all every week, I missed you guys. I really did miss you. A whole week passed by, but I missed you. But guess what? I was working diligently behind the scenes to make sure that I'm still bringing some quality information to all of you. So now, you know that I get up and I'm at the gym, sometimes between 4:30 and 5. One time I got to the gym at about 4:30 and I received some DMs. They're like, Gina, do you sleep? Yes, I sleep. But I decided to just, get to the gym a little earlier. But fitness is very, very, very important. And what we have to remember is that it's not about bulking up. It's not about lifting heavy weights. It's not about keeping up with the Joneses. It's really about fitness. That's all. Making sure that we get our blood circulating, even if we could only move our arms. I have some family members that are struggling in their health, and it's a little tough for them. So I'll say to them, you know what? If you have a can of beans, just hold them up. If you don't have any weights, and just kind of just like move your arms, just do a little something, because that's so very, very, very important. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Today, I have an amazing guest today. He is a personal trainer. His name is Derick Ansah. And yes, he is the answer for a lot of people because he has some great information. You understand what I'm telling you? Now, Derick is from Ghana, raised in New Jersey. He is now based in Atlanta. Derick also has amassed a serious following, just shy of 1 million followers on Instagram and over 347,000 followers on TikTok. Didn't I say that he is the answer? Yes, he is. So I'm going to bring Derick on without further ado. Y'all better get ready because I'm always excited. When I speak to him, he's like, okay, Gina, but I'm excited. Derick! Already smiling on this video. He's serious, but he's smiling here with us. How are you? And welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for joining the Talk with Gina family. I really appreciate you taking the time out. I know you're busy. I see you on your storyline. I see you on your page. I mean, you're not playing. And sometimes when there's a video on, and then somebody will create their own video, and like they'll have something to say, and I see that all over TikTok. People are like, "Whoa!" You are really, really doing it. So as I was telling the Talk with Gina family before you got on, that you're from Ghana, and then you moved to New Jersey and then Atlanta. So how was that for you? How were those moves for you?
I mean, life changing. Life changing. When I was in New Jersey, I was working corporate for about 4 to 5 years. I was working up in Freehold, New Jersey for a lot of years outside of out of college. But I've always done fitness. Fitness has always been something that I've done even after work. So even after work, I always made sure that I put in that personal time for myself, just to grow. Just to grow. And I didn't know exactly where it is that I would take it, but I just did it because I never wanted to have any issues. Health wise, of course, we all come from families, and we see different people go through different things. And for me, I saw my mom get diabetes, and that was like a big wake up call for me. So I always took fitness very serious. It's always been something I always wanted to master. And coming here, making a move to Atlanta, was just this like the icing on the cake. Just to stay, put a stamp on everything it is that I was doing, coming to a city where people cared a lot more about how they look, more than they do so in New Jersey.
Wow. That's awesome. Also on your page, under your picture, is the name Owusu, or the name or the word Owusu. And it struck me because I have some Ghanaian friends, as I shared with you, and I said, wait a minute, I know that word, strong-willed, independent, and right,
Yeah,
strong-willed,
strong-willed and determined.
determined.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you so much. That's right. Get it all, get
yeah,
me right.
yeah,
And determined.
yeah,
And yes, I mean, when I look at your page, I mean, I see that. And then just listening to what you just finished saying, it flows right in
yeah.
with it. That's perfectly named. Wow. That's awesome. Because we really have to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, my goodness. So I know that you have a program called God Body.
Yes.
So tell us about God Body. Where did that name come from?
Well, it's an embodiment of who I am. God body is essentially is a lifestyle. It's a way of
Mhm.
being. I use the name God. It comes really from the nation of Islam. Now they talk a lot about the God body and whatnot. But it's really an extension of. It's really like a state of being. Tapping into your opposite side. Like it's not always about the exterior, how you look on the outside, but more so who you are inside, right? Your mental, how you carry yourself. And I pride myself on making sure that I cover all those different, factors of my life to keep me the way that I am and have me moving the way that I move. And God body is exactly that. I represent that. I live that. Um, the focus is always there. It's always about improving, and we know like God is always about improving, right? It's always about how to make things better. Essentially, that's what we do as human beings, is we're always trying to figure out a way to be better. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, we are always trying to improve. So God body is that, it's just a lifestyle.
I love it. I love it. I mean, so much is needed. We have some comments coming in. I'm here, watching. I have some folks that are on your God Body Challenge. We're going to get into that in a moment. Just so there's some other folks just saying hello. So, folks are here with us. That's all right. Isn't that all right, Derick?
It's all right. It's all right.
So now I know you created a God Body program, but what made you create the challenge? Why did you decide to do the challenge, and why did you make it so affordable as well? And why did
Well,
you include the meal plan? So yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit.
well, the affordability part was thinking about the people. I know,
Uh-huh.
we are in a, we understand what's going on right now in this country. We are we're technically a part of a recession, right?
Mm-hmm.
But getting fit, it shouldn't be expensive. It's not an
Mm-hmm.
expensive thing. A
Yeah.
lot of us, a lot of times we believe that we have to have, you know, a lot of money to get all the best food, and have all of the best qualifications or whatever it is in order for us to be able to move forward. And we don't necessarily need that. All we need to do is honestly stay focused, keep ourselves on the right track as far as like our eating habits, make sure that, like you talked about the meal plan is as basic as it can come. I don't need people to go ahead and eat a whole bunch of meals to be able to
Mm-hmm.
optimize their health and get, and be their best. You actually
That's
need to eat less. You know what I mean? And a lot of us have a very unhealthy relationship with food. And this program is essentially made to help people understand that they don't necessarily need to eat so much in order for them to get to where they need to get to.
That's a great point, because sometimes you would think that you have to take in a heavy meal before you work out, maybe wait about an hour for it to digest, or you thinking it's only taking an hour for that food to digest, and that's the only way that you could build. I know with me, I have so many different food allergies. So over the years, I've had to decrease the amount of foods that I eat, but that was really because of the allergies that I have.
Yeah,
And to be honest with you, I mean, I'm okay. I said, so I really felt, and it may sound a little crazy, but that my allergies were a blessing in disguise. Because if I did not develop an allergen or allergens to certain foods, I know I would go ham
that's
with
true.
certain things that I was eating pretty much all of my life. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And really not even thinking about the word moderation, just eating it, because I wanted to eat it. But I got tired of breaking out. I got tired of my lips swelling. And I started doing my research as to why these things were happening. And I changed up the way that I ate. And so now when I go to the gym, you know, I'm okay. People say, oh, Jeannie, you're so skinny. Why do you go to the gym? Everybody needs to work out.
And when you think about it, you know, like if you look at some of these other countries that's across the globe, their life expectancies is higher than ours. And think about why. You know what I mean? We like to, you know, call them third world countries and whatnot. They don't have no food, you know, no clean food. And they have plenty of food. You know, they have access to raw and fresher food than we can ever have access to. They just take a walk outside and there's fruits and vegetables growing outside, you know, and they don't have to necessarily go to the supermarket to get it. So they have access to plenty of food. But the difference is their activity level, right? Because the roads may not be as super paved as ours are, or the technology may not be as technologically advanced as ours is.
Right.
We look down upon those people, but that's actually a blessing in disguise for them. Because now they have to go ahead and walk an extra mile, 2 or 3 to get to their destination. And that walking is what's adding to their health and adding to their life and helping their heart work a little extra harder. So their life expectancy, instead of it being 60 something like it is here in America, it's 90 something, you know, it's 80 something, it's higher because their lifestyle habits, they're living like how human beings are supposed to live. We're supposed to be active and we're not, you know, constantly supposed to be, you know, taking the easy way out, as I like to call it.
Right. That's so true. You know, at one point I was working a job and I'm zoop. I'm zipping all over the place. Zip. And all of the other managers, they're taking their time. But Gina, zip, right? When I stopped working that job, I put on 15 pounds. Now, I am a person who does not gain weight. You know, like I just, my genetics, you know, for me, it really takes a lot for me to gain weight. But as women get older, things that used to happen when they were younger are not the same when you get older. So I know I've heard women say, oh, I used to be really slim back then, you know, and it like caught up, right?
Yes.
And I was like, oh no, this is not working. And you know what I zoomed in on? I was burning. I was constantly burn. All of that zip. I was burning. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And then when I became sedentary, that's when, you know, the weight came on. And then I really started thinking about it. And I said, no. I need to do something. So I mean, I wasn't fat. You don't have to be fat, but I just know that I put on that weight. I was not moving around. And then everything with me, I'm jumping in my car. You know, I'm almost like how you guys are out there in Atlanta. You know, you had to jump in your car and when you go in someplace, it's not like New York where you have the bus and you walk here and you walk there. You know, I'm on the suburb train, you know, as far as I'm driving everywhere, but you have to work out, you know, otherwise it's going to catch up to you. So, you know, I was looking at your posts and you have put a post up on October 24th on IG. And you were working out with a woman, Bounce Back Brit.
Okay.
And someone made a comment, Wisdom Agbo 83. And what she wrote is, no one has more power than the person who accepts reality and moves according to truth, not delusion. And I did the same thing you did. I said, You know what I mean? Because we can't fool ourselves. We can say anything that we want to say to whomever, but we can't fool ourselves. You know what I mean? And I thought that was really powerful. The other thing that I noticed when you do your workouts, you're not using heavy weights. You know, I mean, I don't know how much poundage it is, but it always seems to be pretty much the same amount of weight. I mean, you may go up in weight from time to time, but it's not, you know, it's not all of this heavy. When I look at your story, sometimes I'll see you training and then I'll see that, you know, your clients may be using some heavy weights, but you yourself, you know, because we are our own billboard and you talk about not needing to use heavy weights. you
Right.
know. So talk to me about that. How can you get that sculpted look and you're not using heavy weights?
Well, I think that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
The common misconception a lot of people have when it comes to fitness is, you have to lift a lot of weights in order to be muscular or whatever. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's all about consistency. The
Mm.
longer the longer you've done something, the more it shows differently. You know, you just can't go in the gym and you put 200 and something pounds on your neck and think about squatting it now. You don't, you know what I mean? Like, you don't turn into this. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's not how it works. So I believe, like, and it's an extension of the whole God body thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
God is very patient, right? So that's one of the qualities that I possess as a person is the patience with my work. I don't need to go ahead and lift a bunch of weights in order for me to, get the results that I want to get. It's the
Right.
consistency. It's
Mhm.
understanding and respecting the time, and the time
Mhm.
is essentially the ultimate truth teller. So I get all the answers that I need to have by taking my time, right? So today I look different than I did 2 years ago when I first started posting on IG. When I
Right.
first started posting on IG, I didn't look like this. So
Mhm.
people have grown with me. That's why I've been able to grow 500,000 people on my page, because these people
Mhm.
have seen me grow. They've
Yeah.
seen me come from nothing to being where I'm at now. So that's what a lot of people don't understand is
Mhm.
they want to get it all in one shot, and it's an
Yeah.
impossibility. You have
Mhm.
to enjoy what it is that you're doing, and I think training with lightweight helps you actually enjoy what you're doing. So it's not
Mhm.
too much strain and stress on your joints. I'm 29 years old. My goal is to try to do this for the rest of my life. And so
Mhm.
I have to limit the amount of heavy weights that I use so that my joints don't take too much pounding.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And going back to the God Body program, and more specifically, the challenge. You're very, first of all, it's very detailed, and yes, I will tell the viewers I am part of this God Body Challenge. I said I want this body to be serious. I said I see Derick on there, and I mean I don't want the muscles like Derick, but I want the body.
That's right.
And one of
Right.
the things that you talked about before getting started is the importance of a detox.
Mm,
You wanted folks to detox before they start. You could be on a detox, but you definitely talked about that. And there are some folks that don't understand that there's a difference between a cleanse
that's right.
and a detox. So
Absolutely.
I'm like what, day 22 of my 28-day detox, with one of your clients. I'm on
Right.
that program,
Yeah.
Dr. Bobby Price. And
That's,
so why? Why did you include that tidbit about being on a detox?
well, because let's be honest, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us have minor issues that we may not talk about, right? Some of us rarely use the bathroom frequently. Some of us really are urinating, in the right, in the right way. We barely getting enough water in our system.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that's going on internally that we can't see. Now we know based on certain um activities that may happen, or certain things that may happen throughout the day, or on a week to week or the month to month basis, that only
Right.
we know on a personal level, right?
Uh-huh.
But a
Right.
lot of us are not going to share that, right? Because it's
Right.
very personal to us, so we're not going to share it. So a detox completely eliminates that, right? So you have something that you're not sharing with me, right? As far as your habits or certain issues that you may have, the detox is going to help you cleanse all of that, right? It's going to eliminate, it's going to take care of that. So now you can start to really grow your body and, start the process of taking care of yourself in the right way. That's the reason why I put the detox in there, because I
Mm-hmm.
know that a lot of people have bad habits, and
Mm-hmm.
people come in to your life with certain habits. And it's
Mm-hmm.
now is your job to try to break those things in different ways. The detox is just a way for me to break it. Right.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I offer it to a lot of my clients.
And that's great too, because we need a reset.
Yes,
When we decide that we want to make a change, I mean the change is not just external, but it's also internal. And
absolutely.
having gone through a detox before, I'm not, I'm not new to it. I'm true to the detox, and I understand how important it is. I really feel reborn in a sense. I mean, some folks may say, "Okay, Jeannie, being a little dramatic," but I really do feel that way. You're just like, it just literally feels like some of my organs were just scrubbed, and now I can start anew, and I can start fresh, and I'm giving myself an opportunity to really do better than what I was doing before. So I thought that was really cool. Now, Derick, I cannot not go on without talking about this man's body. Okay, now listen. Listen. This is all P. This is actually G. This is not PG. This is G. Now, I'm telling you, for all of you right now, if you're watching us right now on your computer, please go to your cell phone and pull this man's page up right now. Please do that. Matter of fact, I'm going to run his Instagram and his TikTok names on the bottom of our screen right now. If anyone is a fan of Marvel Comics or fans, that's why, let me tell you, this is why you smiling. I am encouraging you all. Please go so that you can follow what I'm saying with this gentleman here. He looks as if somebody actually sculpted all of his muscles on his body. And it's not about you having to look like Derick. That's not what it is about. What he is showing you is what consistency did for him.
Absolutely.
Because everybody's body is different.
Yes.
Everyone's body is different. I mean, I could do the same thing and I might not, I may not look like that. I may not have those results, So everyone is different. But my goodness, I mean, when he's doing the what is it, the butterflies, let me back up the screen here so everybody can see what I'm doing. What are these?
I call them short laterals.
Oh, okay. Well, short laterals. Okay. So when you're looking at Derick do his short, I mean, everything is asymmetrical. I mean, I can see why you have such a huge following, because again, it's not about people trying to look like you. It's them knowing what consistency can bring to them. Whether it is about you trying to sculpt your body, or whether it is in your everyday life, on your job, or whatever it is that you decide to do, you have to be determined, right? It goes back to the word awusu, right? Strong-willed and determined. You have to be that way in order for you to get the results. Because if you don't put the work in, you're not going to see the results.
Absolutely.
You told me that folks say the same thing to you, like, wait a minute. How did that even happen? You know what I'm saying? But it's your genetics.
Yeah.
It's your genetics. And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. And the thing is, I get that a lot, and what people don't, a lot of times what people don't understand is, and I said it before, it's the consistency in the work. It's more so about, I've been able to do this 365 every single year, and people think that's like an impossible thing to do, like everybody talk about, oh, when you resting, I find time when I need to, if I need it, then I go ahead but there's times when I can work out at least 2-3 times in a day. And people wonder, like, how is that possible? Like, no, I have plenty of energy, and the energy it doesn't come from anything else other than, just my drive, my drive and my will to never give up, and to just want to constantly do better and constantly improve, and that's where it comes from. And I think a lot of times people cut themselves short when they're not trying their best to be their absolute best. You have, no matter what you do, no matter what you touch, give it 110% if you can, and leave nothing else out there, because I never want to be the person that gets older and wonder, man, what if I would have went a little harder? What if I would have went? No, I'm doing that now. And then later on I can look back and say, damn, I made it happen. And that's where it comes from.
I love it. I love it. I don't want to. I agree with you. I don't want to be the president and CEO of the What If Club.
Absolutely.
Because truly, when you get to a certain age, it goes so fast. I
Yeah.
can't even believe the age that I'm at right now. And to me, it was just yesterday that I was in elementary school. Like I could see it clearly. I
Yeah.
could see junior high school clearly and high school clearly. But it goes fast.
Yes, it does.
It goes
Uh,
so fast. And I
yeah.
was going to ask you how many times you work out. So if you work out in about 3 times a day or whenever you find the energy, right? Do
Mhm.
you only do upper body? Like if you were to work, let's say if you took a day and you worked out 3 times in the day, what would that be like? What is that? Is that upper
So
body, lower body, Mm-hmm.
I would split it depending on what I feel. What I feel. Everything I've gotten to the point where everything is based on how I feel. Right?
Mm,
So before it was more so of a breakdown, like, and that's why I can design a program and give it to people because I've done the work. Now for me, I just train based on how I feel. So if certain muscles are feeling good, feeling, it's not aching, then I target it. Let's say if my legs
mm,
are feeling okay, then I work on it. If my upper body is sore, and I leave it alone. So that's how I train, and even if let's say my whole body is feeling achy, then I might do some light cardio. So it's just always something that can be done. I never think there's
right.
nothing that can't be done,
That can't be
you know.
done.
So even through the pain, I just fight through the pain, and that's what a lot of people can't get over. It's like, damn, I'm tired, I'm sore, or I'm aching. Get
Mm-hmm.
through it. Put the blood right back in that area. The best medicine is movement. The best way for you to get better is to move. Like if you injure yourself, you go to a
Mm-hmm.
chiropractor. What do have you do? They have you move that specific muscle because they want you to get the blood flowing in that area. It might
Yes.
be a light movement, but it's still movement nonetheless.
Movement. Hmm. That's very important. Looking at some of our comments here, one person said, so many things are out of people's price range. It's great
Hmm.
that your methods are so accessible.
Yeah.
And I thought so too, because when I saw it and I called up my cousin, I said, oh my goodness. I said, come on, I said, look at this. And you include the meal plan. I mean, everything is right there.
Yeah.
And you can lead folks to what they need to, but you can't force them.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? But it's right there. And then I have another one, Miss Simon. She says this program is easy and there is no way one can say it's difficult to do. He has a point. He has a point that other countries eat better. Food is not processed
That's right.
in some areas. It's true. I know my cousin, when she was doing it, we were talking about your program, right?
Yeah.
And there was just some moves that we had to do because she says, wow, Derick makes it look so easy. And we were
Yeah.
like, man, we're gonna get down with this whole thing, right? We said,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this. And we're doing it,
Yeah.
but it's not easy, but it's easy. You
Easy.
know what I
Yes.
mean? Because
Mhm.
the way you designed it, there is no pressure.
Yeah.
There's no pressure whatsoever with it. So you do it. You do it. Take your time and
Yeah.
get it right. We
Yeah.
see you doing all of this stuff. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. But it does
Yeah.
take time to
Yeah.
build up,
Yeah.
and your body feels lighter after the detox. That's another thing that she was saying, and that you have a 60 pack. You got a 60 pack on
Uh,
the front,
uh,
on the back. I mean, it's just like,
yeah.
and I know that also brings you clients as well, right?
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
see you at the gym, that definitely would bring you, because it's like, whoa, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of that is, so you had mentioned something about, in other countries and how the food is not processed, and that's the reason why in the meal plan, a part of the program, I limit the amount of food that everybody's eating. Because see, one thing we can't control is who's making the food. We can, but we cannot, right?
Mhm,
We
mhm,
um we all go to the supermarkets, we all get the same things, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Um, so what can you do to counter that is limit the amount of it that you put in your body. If it's poison, limit the amount of poison that you're putting inside of you, and then you work off that poison. So immediately when it comes into your body, you do something, you get active, you do things. Now the body is working,
mhm,
working. what can I use this for? You know, I need to use this for something. And so, you know, it limits the amount of fat that people, and that's really where the secret is for me is I have basically no fat on me, you know, and that's really
basically, no, Derick, you have negative like 5,000. You know, it's like zero body fat. It's like negative 5,000. Like there's nothing.
yeah. Yeah, so you know that's really where it's at. It's like I limit that, you know, I limit
Yeah.
it completely. And so that's really where the secret is. The secret is in limiting the amount of fat that, you know, that the body is consuming and storing.
Yeah. You know, I challenged myself one year and I created a garden and I had a small space. And
Right.
so I did my research in terms of how I could maximize growing food in a small space. And so what I came up with was container gardening. And I grew so much in that small space. Folks couldn't believe. I mean, I had onions, I had beets, I had peppers, I mean, kale and spinach and tomatoes. I mean, you name it, Gina
Wow.
had it pretty much, you know? And it was such a pleasure when I was ready to have my salad. And I just went right outside and I picked my own salad. And I was very, very specific with the type of soil that I used, very specific with the type of fertilizer I use, because a lot of fertilizer that they have out there, if you look on the back, it's toxic. And it will
Yes.
tell you, oh, be careful, don't touch it with your hand. Some of the soil will say, don't touch
Mhm.
the soil with your hand. So if we
Mhm.
think about how a plant gets nutrients through the
Mhm.
roots.
Right.
So if the roots are touching the soil, and
Mhm.
then we're watering the soil and they're pulling, so what is the roots are pulling up poison,
That's right.
and so now we're eating that,
That's right.
and there's some other ones like the Miracle Grows. It's like
Right. That's
you
right.
know
I mean,
and
think
you
about
know
the
what.
amount of people that's going to the hospital, you know? I mean, let's just think about it, you know, these rare diseases that just occur out of nowhere, you know, out
Mm-hmm.
here. You know, I'll give you like an example. I mean, this don't
Uh-huh.
have anything necessarily to do with health, but like, well, it does have something to do with health. But
Uh-huh.
like when my little daughter was born, and she was born with a teratoma. I don't know if you know what that is.
No, I'm not familiar. What is that?
Is basically it's a tumor. It's a type of tumor,
Uh-huh.
right? And she was born with basically they said it's like an attached twin or something like that. But she had it in her stomach. We didn't find it
Okay.
until maybe she was like 3 months. They had to split her stomach from end to end to get the whole tumor
Oh,
out.
wow.
3 months. You
Oh
get what
my
I'm saying? So,
goodness.
you know, think about that. Like she was put in St. Jude Hospital in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They took her, performed the procedure, and everything went well, and she's here, and she's
Oh, thank God.
excellent. But just think about that, right? I mean, these are things that happen out here, and there's many people that don't talk about a lot of the things that they go through, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of health issues that people have, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of some way always related to the food. It's always related to our habits. It's always related to something. It's always related to something because these things just don't happen. It comes from somewhere. So we just got to
Mm-hmm.
do better to just really put more focus in the things that we do.
No, it's very true. And, also, too, if you have to go to the doctor, I like to, remember I get it with the research, but I like to do my research. So when I'm speaking to the doctor, I'm having a more intelligible conversation than the doctor dictating to me what it is. I want to be able to throw things out and then we can explore it and we can talk about it because you don't know, being from the Caribbean. I know that there were some folks that may have had high blood pressure from time to time, maybe a little diabetes. They would say sugar, but you didn't really hear too much people with the sugar. But you would hear maybe with the high blood pressure. But
Right.
now it's like so many people are affected with cancer on the island, and it's
Everywhere.
not on it. To me, it's not rocket science
Yeah.
because there is McDonald's, Burger King,
Right.
what else they have out
AFC.
there?
Yeah.
KFC is out
Mm-hmm.
there, and not
Popeyes,
only
all of it.
right, and it's not just the food, but it's also the packaging that they put the burgers in and the fries in. And then what happens is that when it's hot, it seeps right into your food.
Right.
But these foods are allowed. You know what I'm saying? And now a lot of folks are not eating. And then the other thing that is the problem that I've known as the problem is a lot of importing. You have a lot more older folks that can no longer till their land. They're tired. How long can you do it? And so now you have math, sciences, and English that have always been concentrated on in schools, right? And I've long since said that we need to introduce agriculture. Agriculture needs to be just as important as the sciences, math, and English. It needs to be. We need to understand what is going on. If we don't have fruit that have a seed, how can you grow your own food? It's impossible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's impossible.
What is a seedless grape? What is
This
that?
is
How you get a seedless watermelon? How does that happen? How does that happen? How do you how? And then nobody question it. And see, that's the problem. People question a lot of things, a lot of unnecessary things. But the
yeah.
things that actually matter, people don't
Mhm.
ever have no questions for whatsoever.
It's
What
so
is
true.
going what is going on? Like, why is it that you have a fast food joint at every single corner? But yeah, you got to drive a while to hit a gym, to find a fitness. Why is it that there's constantly commercials about the next burger that's out, but nobody's putting a commercial out about how to get healthier? Where is that? Why is it that when you go, like you talked about when you went to, when you go to the doctor, you ask questions. You're your first doctor before you even go to the doctor. The doctor always asks you about whatever's going on with you, about
That's
the
right.
signs, the symptoms, before they go ahead and give you their analysis and
Right.
their input, because you're supposed to be your first doctor.
That's right.
It's
That's
not
right.
supposed to, it's not supposed to be done.
Right.
Then when you go there, they ask you questions. Have you
Exactly.
been feeling this? Have you been feeling that? Have you been, because they have no idea. You
None.
have to know. You
Right.
have to know all the things that's going on. What have you been eating? What is it? They don't know.
Right.
All they know is what you tell them.
Exactly.
And then they go ahead and give you whatever analysis that they give you afterwards.
Exactly. And then if they say, hey, well, you know what, you need to be on medication. One thing about me, I said, oh, what are the side effects? How long do I
Right.
need to be on it?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you telling me I need to be on it?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. And maybe I'm the pain in the tail patient, but
Yeah.
you're not going to just tell me what I need to do. I need for you, let me know what, give me some of your expertise. What did you learn in school, and what have you learned on the job with all of the other patients that you've been dealing with?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So that
And
I
is
can
and
have
is
a. Mhm.
and is there a holistic approach to it? Is there a way you can get healthier without taking the medication?
Exactly. And unfortunately, there are some doctors, I'm not going to say all because that's totally unfair, but there are some doctors that don't believe in holistic medicine. There are
Yeah.
some doctors that may believe in it, but they don't have a clue as to where to point you. And I'm telling you, there are some nutritionists that I'm just like, okay, no, thank you, because that little chart that they use, and no, because I'm not eating shrimp, for instance.
Yeah.
I know what shrimp can do. I know how it sits in, for men, shellfish sits in the prostate,
Yeah.
for men, and then in women, shellfish sits in our womb. It's no
Yeah.
good. You have to
Yeah.
be, I'm just saying, you really have to be careful, and you have to know what it is you're eating. If you do eat it, you know what I'm saying, and what you're doing. This has been great.
Yeah.
This has been great. I mean, Derick, is there anything else you want to tell? Well, let me check this comment. Let me see what's happening. Okay, we have Ja Youth. He says, hence, when we have an increase of food security and increase of food security and food desert, insecurity. So we have an increase of food insecurity and a food desert. Yeah.
Think about it, and we got to understand, especially in our community, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to deal with that. You got to drive, especially in Atlanta. There's a food desert out here in Atlanta. You got to drive really far to go to the best supermarkets. Why is that? There's a problem there. We have to understand that there's a point. When you talk about agriculture, that is
Mm-hmm.
one of the best points that I've heard. We
Mm-hmm.
need to be teaching people how to do that, especially in this country,
Yeah.
because the disadvantage is here. You know, we've been at a disadvantage for a long time. But if we don't correct some of these problems and get our health in order, we're gonna wipe ourselves off. You know, you're gonna be seeing a bunch of humans walking around with, you know, machines attached to them because they're not gonna be able to function on their own. And
No,
that's the
that's a
problem.
great point. That's a great point. So as much as we talk about the external, right? We have to keep that in check. The internal is so important because we don't know what's going inside, but we also have to pay attention to what we put on our bodies, as far as the lotions, as
That's
far as
right.
our skin,
Right.
detergent. I mean, I am Miss Non-Toxic. Like pretty
Right.
much everything in my household is non-toxic, from the toilet tissue to the paper towel, the oils that I use, everything, because I'm just so conscious about it. Not about being neurotic and oh my goodness, but just being aware,
Yeah.
even my detergents,
Yes.
like today, for instance, my honey and I, we went to the doctor, a dermatologist, and she says, oh, you should use all free and tie free. And I'm saying, huh? No,
Yeah.
because there's dioxide in that. That's not clean.
Yeah.
We have to use something else. And so what I use is it's non-toxic. It's devoid of all of that and cleans my clothes superbly.
Right.
So we have to know that, because when we sweat, whatever we wash our clothes in, it absorbs right into our skin.
Mm.
The FDA is not our friend. And we
Oh
have to be
man.
very much aware of
Mm.
what it is that, that they're approving,
Yes. Yes.
because everything that's approved is not good. And we have some, for the ladies with the cosmetics, I
Mm.
mean, quite a few. Like if you take a brand name cosmetic in America, and you find that in Europe, it's a very different product, because they
Completely.
right, completely, because in America they allow quite a few, and I don't have the number, so that's why I'm not quoting the number, but there are quite a few toxins that are allowed. However, if you buy that same product in Europe, it's not allowed. It's
Right.
not. I mean, it's not allowed. I mean, it's something like maybe 2,000 ingredients are not allowed. But in America, it might be 8,000. And they, again, I don't have the exact numbers. I mean, I have the research, but I don't, right now to talk about it
But
exactly in numbers.
but you got to think about it though. You know,
Uh-huh.
can you really be mad or surprised? They tell you every day. You know, like, you know, healthcare is not free here. You know,
Uh-huh.
the goal is
Uh-huh.
not. They don't care about you. They don't want you to live for a long time. They don't
Uh-huh.
want you to get to a certain age and start collecting Social Security and all of that. They don't want that. They don't
No.
want, their job is to try their best to keep those who are at the top, those elites, whoever they are, to keep them good, make sure that they stay alive and they're good in good health, and keep you constantly running to the hospital. You know, it's just the name of the game. The pharmaceutical company and these hospitals, they work hand to hand. You
It's
know, so like
very true.
you have to understand like that the mission of this system is not made, doesn't matter what color you are, it's not made for you to be able to survive for a long time. It's just not. And if you look at some of if you know, just like in a relationship, you know how somebody feel about you based on how they treat you, the things they put in front of you. They don't put
Mhm.
things in front of you for you to be healthy. That's not what they're
Mhm.
constantly talking about. They're
Mhm.
talking about things that causes harm to you, and you have to pay
Mhm.
attention to it and tell yourself, well, they don't care about me. I have to care about myself.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We are our best advocate, but see what happens is that when you feed folks the information, they're like, wow, I appreciate it. But actually them going out and seeking, a lot of folks don't want to do it. I just happen to be that way. Growing up, my parents were like, don't ask me to answer. I bought you an encyclopedia. So my sister and I were like, okay, okay. And after we could not find the answer,
Yeah,
after we exhausted all possibilities, that's when we could go to our parents and ask, and they would answer. So
absolutely.
that's how come I'm like this now. Like if somebody tells me no, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a no. It
Yeah,
might be for right now, but it's not a no. until I dig, right? And then
Not
I said,
over.
okay, so no.
Yep.
We have a few more comments here. Kim says we have to do our homework, finding natural products and making our own. I know she definitely makes some, as she's saying here, she does her own milk. Milk.
Wow.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? In terms of
Yeah.
soaking the oats and then using the food processor and making, you know what I'm saying? I use a brand MALK. I find that out in Whole Food, and it's just Himalayan salt, the oats, and filtered water. That's it. A lot of these oat milks and almond milks, if you turn to the back with the sorbic gum and the this and the that, it's like, what is that that's going in my body? We have to know what it is that we're eating and what we're drinking. You know, Jaluth also said the lack of gyms and healthy supermarkets, etc., are all a part of social determinants of health. It's true. Yeah. Yeah. So anything else you want to share with us today? I mean, I'm just so happy to have you on, really. You know, so very happy to have you on. Listen, everyone, you can follow Derick on both. He has the same name for both Instagram and TikTok, right? Which is Derick Ansah _. You find him on Instagram, TikTok. I already encourage you guys as we were on here to take a look. Follow him. Follow him. He has some great exercises when he puts up his stories. I mean, they're really cool. As far as you seeing how he works along with his clients. I mean, they're short, but even still, you'll just see that he's working out with his clients. And he also, what is that called? That animated that you have when you work out on Instagram. You have a little animated on it. What was that? Why you put that up there?
Well, just to show people, you know, the target where I'm training, right? So, you know, because you see a lot of muscles moving. So when I put that, you know, okay, that's what he's training. That's the reason why I put that.
Love it. All right. All right. I thank all of you for joining us today. Derick, I thank you so very much. I mean, we have a friend in common, and you received that phone call. Next thing you know, it was a three-way, or we were just laughing as if we've known each other forever and a day, right? Me and my craziness. Hey, Derick, how are you? And he's like, who's this crazy lady? She doesn't know me. That's exactly what he did, everybody. He was just cracking up the whole time, pretty much, that we were talking. But I thank you. You know, I definitely hope that you'll come back and share some more knowledge again at some point, you know, in the future. Please, everybody, follow Derick Ansah _, same name on both Instagram and on TikTok. I mean, he is an amazing trainer. You'll see his body. He is a walking billboard. Sometimes you'll go to the gym and they're like, oh yeah, work out with this personal trainer and do this. But sometimes they're not really doing their homework. Right. You have to know what it is that you're trying to target. And then when you deal with a personal trainer, would you say that the trainer needs to be realistic with you in getting you where you need to go, as opposed to you saying, I want to do this, I want to do this. We got to crawl before we walk.
That's right.
You know, Derick, thank you. Oh my goodness. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I hope that it was informative for everybody. Derick is busy. We're not going to take up any more of his time. You know, I have this amazing theme song, Mad Love. I know you heard it when you did your tutorial. Yes, Mad Love, because I'm sharing Mad Love by bringing on fantastic guests such as yourself. Yeah. And the audience is showing me mad love, and you as well, by sharing and letting folks know that you were on. So I thank you so very much. You know, I'm gonna add, just bear with me right now. I'm gonna put that music on right now, Derick. You know what I'm saying? I know you work out. We could do that to the beat.
If you don't show love, then you get no love. When you don't show love, then you get no love.
I'm glad that she's feeling much better, and you take care of yourself. All right. Look forward to seeing you sometime soon. You take care. Thank you so very much, Derick. I appreciate you. Thank you. Remember, everybody, follow Derick. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for another great session. of Talk with Gina. I really appreciate all of you joining in. Hey, Sherry Ann, joining us. I appreciate you. And so, you know, before we leave, you know, I always have to thank my sponsor, PPI Securities, specializing in city, state, and government contracts. I thank all of you for joining me. I have another fantastic guest next week, and I hope to see all of you and more. Remember, please, to hit like and subscribe. I would have really appreciated it. So share, like, subscribe. Come on. You know, help me, help you. Just continue to bring some great information. Thank you all. It's great. You know how we do. We go out. You know how we do. We go out with that mad love. I'm going to play that full song. You know what I'm saying? And I thank you all for joining me yet.
No.